Hello and welcome to this video. I've never done this one before, so it's going to be fun and see how it goes. And I don't know if that's going to be a series or not. Today I wanted to show you for the variations of one particular targeted area on the Yin Yoga. You know, there's so many. Our body is individually so unique and different. So one pose doesn't fit to everybody. So if you notice that, say, for example, if you've got some injury on the ankles, it will be very hard to sit on a kneeling like this when I'm doing. So I invite you to watch this one as hopefully this is like invitation for you to honor your body and really listen and communicate with your body. And if you do have any current old injuries or any sensitivities, be very gentle and please do not push. So I'm really happy to share those variations today. So today's variation of the pose is the half saddle. So half saddle, if you're not using any props, so one knee bent and other leg extended, then what you want to create is the stretchy sensation on the quads, the thigh muscles, and depends on how lower you're going to bring it to. Could be you might feel the groin as well. Then can you see that my knees start to lift up, but then I'm still feeling that quad stretch, so it's okay. Maybe this one eventually coming down, but you don't want to forcefully bring it down. What I did just then, I engaged the muscles to bring it down. But instead, maybe you can just wiggle your hip to find a different angle. So I see in my teaching of Yin, I see many people are sort of struggling with this. So what I want to show you is the many variations. So probably the easiest variation is to elevate your upper back. So the back angle. So you could do those two blocks and bolster. So that way, if you feel like your back doesn't go all the way onto the floor, but then maybe this angle could work, or maybe a little lower, maybe a little higher, depending on how this targeted area feels. So whenever you're not sure, make sure you come back to what am I feeling in that targeted area. Make sense? Some people find it very difficult to put the hip onto the floor. Maybe because of the sensitivities on the ankle or feet. If that's the case, you can always elevate your hip. Maybe the block, maybe two blocks. And that way, it might release the strong sensation on the ankle. Then you might be able to feel more around here. Then perhaps you can try, if it's okay for around the foot or ankle, maybe you can begin to lean back to create the right amount of stretch on the quads. Other thing for the ankle tightness or sensitivities, it could be good idea to put some padding. So what I did, just on the folded blanket, I rolled a corner, and that thickest point, I put my ankle on top of it, if you can see that way. So this way, it might help release some sort of tightness or tensions. They might be easier for you to stay in this pose a little longer. So all of this is in a seated position. Another one So whatever the variation you chose, you could go even lean back on the wall. So instead of using all this bolster on the side and setting up, maybe you can just change where your hip is placed. Then you have this control of how far you want to lean back, and you always have the support from the wall. The other option is to come into lie down on your abdomen, and this one you might need some strap, and if you do have a strap, you want to make it in a loop. Let's see how we go. So for this one, you come into lie down, maybe completely down, or you come into the Sphinx, or somewhere in between. It depends on how your back feels on this one. Then bend that knee. You can grab the foot and you can simply gently pull it until you feel the right amount of stretch on that quad. Remember, you will always go back to the targeted area. But sometimes you might get a little tired from holding that foot with your hands for like more than 3 minutes, because in the yin, you're going to stay a little longer. So this is when the strap might become handy. So all you have to do, it's a little bit tricky to hook the strap on the foot. So I usually hook the strap first on my ankle or foot or whatever, then trying to come down. Then I'll hook onto the shoulder. Then I will just tie it up in an angle. Then that way I can relax my arms, I can relax my legs, but I can still feel the stretch on the quads. This might or might not work, but then again, I'm just showing you some variations. The other variation is this could be like the full saddle variation. So when you're lying down on the abdomen, you lift your legs by placing the props under. Then maybe you can bend that knee. Simply just bending the knee, that might create some stretch in here. Or if you want to, you can bring it closer. Same thing, you can use that strap. If the bending the knees isn't really an option for you, then this could be other option. So lie down on the back. Then elevate your hip, slide the props under. So I just used the block, but it could be 1 block, 2 blocks, or it could be the bolster under, or stacks of pillows, or whatever you have. Then you can begin to extend that leg. This one though, it might not be necessarily the quads you're feeling. You might feel more around that groin, like a front groin. And if that's okay to change that focus, it's still on the front of the leg, but it's a bit different, then if that's okay, maybe you can choose that. Or you can come into dragon pose. So I'm doing my right leg. So basically in a low lunge, it creates a stretch onto the quads, could be the groin. It depends on where your upper body goes to. It changes the sensation here. So maybe you can explore that. For those who have got the sensitive knees, put the padding under. You can also place some support under that leg. And it might make a little less intense if you find that without it is too intense. For those who can go deeper, then you could bend that knee, grab the foot for a deeper stretch. Same thing. So instead of using your hands to hold the foot, you can use the strap, like I showed you in a lying down on the abdomen. Or you could do the same dragon pose against the wall. So I'll place my knee really close to the wall. So my lower leg resting against the wall. Then maybe you can come up, or maybe you can step this other foot forward. Then again, you can find the angle of it. So your hip moving like a forward or close to the wall. For me, I feel in both variations, I feel on the quads, but in a different way. So that could be also the pose you could try if your body allows you to. For those who got very much flexible hamstring and you're not feeling anything, try those wall one, or you could come in all the way flat and bend the other foot, other knee. Then perhaps you can try to, I can't do this one, hug your knees in, or you can put this other foot on top of the targeted thigh, then put more weight on it. That might give you more stretchy sensations. So I don't know how many variations I just showed you. And also if you do know other variations I haven't shown you in here, I would love to hear what else is possible. And yeah, so give it a go, give it a try of which pose feels kind of true for you at that moment, then you can try out, especially for those who haven't been trying other variations. And also you get to understand your own body. Okay, this pose is not really working for me today. And there's no judgment about that. It's more like you become more aware of where your body's at. So give it a go and let me know, see how you go. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.